Oh my God. I seriously, I just can't anymore. So much going on. So many things are changing in a moment's notice. What are we going to do about this brand new 125% tariff on Chinese goods? Now, just so we're clear, that equals out to a total of 145% when you add it on top of the already existing tariffs. Look, right now, everyone's telling you to pretty much stop dropshipping from China. But is that really the case? This might actually pose to be a pretty big opportunity for us. I'm going to leave you with 3 letters for now. HPV. And no, it's not what you might think. Up until now, Trump has doubled down on his tariffs, and he hit everyone with a minimum of 10% tariff for products that are coming into the US. Then he said things were going to go great, all while the stock market was plummeting. That's a completely different story. That's when China said, yo, we're not playing this. You're going to tax us? Fine. We'll tax you. And then China hit us with an 84% tariff. Then that's when the kicker comes. Trump said, yeah, you're going to hit the US? Well, I'm going to hit you right back. And then he slapped a 125% tariff on Chinese imported goods. And that's pretty detrimental to dropshippers. Besides that, he actually put a pause on everyone else's tariffs, on their reciprocal tariffs. He put a pause for 90 days. The de minimis exception, or the loophole, is still being stripped. And really, anything that's being imported from China will be getting hit with these tariffs. While he is putting a 90-day pause on the tariffs, that's simply on the reciprocal tariffs. So everyone is still going to be getting hit with 10% extra tariffs on top of whatever is already implemented into that country. Again, except for China. Huge update. We're looking to pay an additional $25 per item for low-valued goods that are being shipped into the US. So anything being imported into the US, if it's, low value, anything that costs $50 or $5, like let's say a phone charger, usually we can source this phone charger for like $4, right? Well, now we're adding the extra 125%. Still manageable. So that ultimately leads to $5 extra about, and then we need to add the $25. So we're looking to source a phone charger for just over $30. But guess what? It doesn't end there. Starting June 1st, it will increase to $50. So $50 on top of our source price with the added 125% tariffs. Honestly, at this point, it's safe to say that we're not going to be dropshipping anything that's lower ticket pretty much anymore. But don't worry, because this entire situation is still salvageable. It can still be saved. Don't shut down your dropshipping store just yet. We'll get to the good part in just a second. So before that, how are these tariffs being collected? Because that's something that a lot of people have been asking. People are already saying that USPS has been knocking on their door, trying to collect payment to give up a package. But they've also been receiving emails from USPS trying to collect that money as well. Also, a lot of people are noting that when they go to check out on certain websites, they now have an added surcharge or a government surcharge or a tariff surcharge, adding these extra tariffs onto their order. Now, is all of this true? I mean, it looks to be, but honestly, I can't confirm just yet. Because honestly, I haven't found anything online that's actually official. These are all just people talking about their experiences on TikTok or Instagram Reels, taking their frustration to social media. Again, we've said it over and over, but all of this uncertainty and changes, you need to diversify your suppliers, your marketplaces, and even your products. We have tons of different resources to help you find new options to help you out, like this YouTube channel and our blog if reading is more of your thing. So one very important thing to note is that tariffs are different worldwide, depending on the country that you're importing and you're exporting to. So if you do want to, in fact, bypass all this nonsense that's going on, then try dropshipping to another country, Canada or Australia, maybe the UK. Now, we actually have tons of different videos that can help walk you through this process and help you get started dropshipping in other countries. Like, check this one out, for example. When you're done watching this video, you can go ahead and check out this video so you can learn how you can start dropshipping in the UK. What if you want to stay dropshipping in the US? What if you do want to focus on the US market? Well, then we need to look for US suppliers. Now, the fact of the matter is that US made doesn't always mean fully made in the US. It just means that the majority of it is made in the US. Chances are some of the raw materials that are being used to make, let's say, I don't know, this water bottle, right? Those materials are more than likely being made in China or any other country. So those products or raw materials such as plastic, metal, ink, the cap, or whatever else is used in the manufacturing process can and will be subject to extra tariffs. Why though? If it's made in other countries, that's not China. Some countries of which are still getting hit with the extra 10% on top of the existing tariffs for those materials. Always remember that Different materials have different tariffs depending on the country that they're shipping from. Now, this is important to note because this will affect different products and multiple different categories. So, for example, electronics. Electronics might have a higher price hike versus, I don't know, let's say something like clothing, right? Because of the types of raw materials that are used in the production process. Even if it's made in the US, the materials are being sourced from other countries. So regardless of what happens, prices are going to be going up. Some more than others. Now remember, you can use our price monitoring tool to help you always stay profitable and automatically update your prices based on changes that your suppliers make in a moment's notice. That way, you're not losing any money by selling a product at a lower price than what you're sourcing it for. Ultimately, if you're still dropshipping in the US, even if something ends up being made in the US fully, it's still going to be a little bit pricier than, let's say, if you're sourcing from China at the moment, because of the fact that literally everything is going to be more expensive in the US, whether it be the prices for the raw materials or the wages that they have to pay the workers. In the end, it's potentially still going to be pricier. Now, if you are dropshipping in other countries, then again, just look for suppliers that dropship to that country, like suppliers that ship from the UK to the UK. That way, price hikes won't be as bad as if you're dropshipping in the US solely. Right now, we still have that 90-day pause on the reciprocal tariffs. So after 90 days, who knows what's going to happen? Either it's going to stay the way it is right now, or they can go up, or they might get rid of the 10%. Can't really tell you. How are these extra tariffs going to be paid? Well, that's the thing. There's really no clear answer. The Trump administration removed the de minimis exception or loophole because they supposedly had all the answers and systems in place, but that doesn't really seem to be the case. Like I mentioned earlier, people are reporting that USPS is charging them to get their packages. But the thing is, that's for packages that were sent before all of this stuff started happening. So what about current packages? Well, some websites have already seen a price increase, but then that's also pretty hard to keep track of because, well, you know, as you just saw, reciprocal tariffs came to a pause for the next 90 days, with the exception of China, of course. Now, something huge to consider is the fact that some countries are now even going around the US. It looks like China and Mexico have been in cahoots with each other. Now, they're establishing a brand new trade route, one that will cross Mexico and essentially bypass the entire Panama Canal. Now, why is this relevant? Well, do you remember how not too long ago, Trump wanted to, and likely still does, take control or purchase the Panama Canal? Well, the reason for this is because it pretty much serves as a shortcut for shipping between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. It drastically reduces the costs and the transit time. We can possibly see these products being imported from one country into other countries that have lower tariffs. And then we can source from there. Again, this is speculation, but it is something that's very and highly likely. Now, I'm going to try saying this, but don't laugh at me. The interoceanic corridor of the Isthmus of Tehuantepec, or just say it easier, CIIT for short. When the CIIT is complete, it'll facilitate the trade between Asia and the US East Coast. Now, obviously, it's probably not going to be things going directly to the East Coast of the United States, simply because of this entire trade war that's going on. But at the end of the day, it is going to shorten transit times and potentially cut costs. Now, one thing that really stands out is the fact that everyone is telling you, or is going to start telling you, to just stop dropshipping from China. This could actually pose as a type of opportunity for us. Everyone will stop dropshipping from China. Well, Chinese suppliers could potentially start to lower their prices to get more sales and adjust for these added tariffs. In essence, you might have reduced competition because nobody's going to be dropshipping from China, or nobody's going to be sourcing from those suppliers. So in an effort, they might lower their prices to get people to purchase from them. Now, besides that, another thing that we need to take into consideration is the fact that low value products that were dropshipping from China, they're just not going to cut it anymore. Like that's it. We're done with those, at least just smaller orders. If you're smart about it, you can actually potentially flip this. So 3 words. Remember the acronym I gave you earlier? HPV. Well, that stands for high perceived value. For one, you can offer products that look like they are worth way more than what they actually cost. Like, let's say, take for example, a pet water fountain. Those products can be sourced for fairly cheap, even after the tariffs and the extra added cost, and sold for some pretty huge profit margins. But not just that, you also have the option for bundles, either bundles by themselves or bundles with high ticket products. So you can bundle many different smaller ticket products to have a higher perceived value. Your customers will ultimately be getting more, and your products or your average order value will be higher. Now, going back to our higher ticket products that, have a higher perceived value, now you can combine the two. You can combine bundles with these types of products. So take, for example, let's say a sofa with some cleaning supplies and maybe a cover for it. 2 small ticket products with a high ticket product. Mashing these two together pretty much increases the overall value. You might not even need to raise your prices that much to be able to cover the cost of the two extras because of the profits that you'll already be making from the sofa itself. You're already going to be making a pretty decent profit. As you can see, things are changing very, very rapidly. And like I always say, stay vigilant and keep your ears and eyes open. These things are changing literally at a moment's notice. If you haven't started preparing yet, finding more suppliers in different markets, dropshipping into different countries, or just overall diversifying your marketing to target other countries, then what are you waiting for? Have you not seen the chaos that's been going on lately? Have you been freaking out? I haven't, because I like to stay calm about things, but I know a lot of people that have been really, really freaking out or tripping out about this. So remember, we're going to be giving you all of the sauce that you need to know and all of the information that you need to get ahead in this ever-changing market. So that way you can always get ahead and stay ahead of the curve. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. If you're still watching this video, huge thank you to everyone for watching, especially if you made it all the way to the end. If you found this video informational or helpful in any way, shape, or form, please make sure you like this video. And with that, my name is Mario with AutoDS, and I'll catch y'all next time.